What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna make this video as quick as I possibly can. If you own a 2016 through current model, which is 2022 Thruxton of any kind, whether it's an S like this one, an R that is identical other than the suspension, an RS, a TFC, or any of these bikes, you have to do this modification. This is a completely different bike. I don't know why this didn't come this way. The next time you go on your bike, I want you to compare the RPMs to where they are now, okay, to my speed, and then look at yours, and yours are going to be up here probably. Such a simple modification. I took the sprocket from a T120 16 and up, which is 37T, and I put it on this bike. I cut 2 links and put the chain back together, and man, this is a totally different bike. RPMs are so much lower on every gear. The gearing feels a lot taller. It's not as short. First gear is actually usable now. I should have done this years ago. I've had this bike for years now. This was my favorite bike before. Without a doubt, this is still my favorite bike. It's not just a sentimental value. I have a couple other really cool bikes, so it's not about that. This bike rides totally different. Look at how low the RPMs are at 90 miles an hour. Now watch. I'm going to open it up just a little. And look at how low the RPMs stay for the speed that I'm going. Man, what a cool modification. I should have done this a long time ago. Everybody does one tooth up modification on the front. That doesn't make that much of a difference. Everyone says, oh, it's big, it's not that big a difference. I've ridden my other friends, it's not that big. One of my friends that has the same bike, it's not that big a difference. When you drop this, it actually looks better. I got the sprocket on clearance. It was like 40, I think it was 50 bucks delivered. Taxes, everything. It looks better. It's black. I think they have it in silver, but if they don't, the black still looks pretty cool. That's a cosmetic thing. But I can tell you, this bike is awesome. This isn't the best bike on the channel, or the favorite bike on my channel by any chance, but I promise you it's my favorite. And once I get the chain to be properly broken in, or the sprocket, there's a Porsche behind me. Come on, bro, let's go. Let's do it. Tailgating me, and then he wants to run, and then he doesn't run. Oh, good. Not about your car, bro. But anyway, that slow ass piece of shit out of here. Try, not that. Anyways, I just wanted to show you what it does. There is no way I would have been able to do that before. That was totally coincidental, and I never encourage it, but that was enough to show you guys how different the RPMs are on this bike. I don't know why Triumph, you know what, I can almost bet that Triumph doesn't do this from the factory because they want to compete with 0 to 60 times of the Japanese bikes, which I've said it in other videos, it's irrelevant. You're never going to catch those bikes. My Z900 RS would smoke this bike. Even a 600, I cannot imagine that I can keep up with any of those bikes by any means. I'm just being realistic. As much as I love my bike, I've had 600s, I've had many 600s, I've had many 1000s. There's no way I'm keeping up with them. So what Triumph is trying to do with this bike and this current sprocket I'm sorry, not this current sprocket. The sprocket I just replaced, which is a 42T in the back. What they're trying to do is compete with that 0 to 60, but it makes first gear unusable. So if you do this modification, you'll see how much different this bike rides. Like look at the RPMs, look how low they are, and I'm going like 50 something. Even if the speedo is a little off, it's not that far off. I'm gonna get my phone and do the GPS. See, this is a 50, this is a 45, but everyone does like 60 here. So even if they do like 55, 60, so yeah, it's not, the speedometer's not that far off. I'm gonna get my phone, put it right here with one of those GT500. So yeah, I can't keep up with that, no way. But a Porsche Panamera, bring it. This is so different. I'm so excited about it. I'll give you a little walk around on how it looks here in a minute. I'm telling you, it looks fantastic. It looks way better. See, normally I'd be in 4th gear here, but I had to downshift because the RPMs felt a little low, because that's how different the gearing is now. Man, I'm excited. I'm going to do some modifications on this bike either way. I'm going to replace the internals on the suspension because I don't like the Öhlins. That's a topic for another video. If you want to see it, go up here. I don't think Öhlins is worth it. There's a company in England that is, it's called Maxton, and they do custom suspension. They won't even sell it to you unless you give them your specs and the type of riding that you do. But that's a topic for another video. That's probably one of the next modifications. But this simple modification was like 50 bucks. The hardest part was to break the chain. It was so simple and so worth it. It took me about an hour from start to finish. I removed the tire, removed the sprocket. The tightening process is very simple. It's like 40 pound-feet of torque. I think it's 41 pound-feet of torque. And then it's like 90 on the main lug nut for the axle and the back wheel. Chop the chain, remove 2 links, put a little link in there, and you're good. And man, you're like, it doesn't change the ride because it keeps the tire and the wheel in the almost identical position than it was before. So the riding's going to be exactly the same. The only difference, your RPMs are way lower and your gearing is much taller. That is so awesome. I should have done this years ago. I absolutely love this bike. I love it even more now. It feels like a new bike. I think I've talked to you guys about this before, how at like 80 or 90 it vibrates and it drives me insane, because that's like highway speed here in Texas. Like, you know, the speed limit is 65, but nobody does 65. Everybody does like 75, 80. Thanks, bro. 75, 80 or 90, and so that's cruising speed. So if we can get the RPMs lower and the ride more tolerable at that speed, then more power to it. But that's where we're at. Very simple modification, guys. You probably spend between the link was like $8. I went to Cycle Gear and got it, but you can get it online. The chain is 525, so if you need to know about the chain, you know, there's 520, 525, and 530, I think, and I'm sure there's others, but this is a 525. Do the sprocket on a 37. Let's see how the launch goes. Wow, totally different bike. I would have been maxed. I would have been pegged already in 6th gear almost. Nuts. That is awesome. How cool. Don't do that. There was no cars, whatever. Man, I say don't do it. Do whatever you want. Is that a McLaren? Nah, that's a Corvette. I hate Corvettes. You guys know I hate Corvette. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Alright guys, this is what I was talking about. That's a 37. We left the front the same. We didn't even touch it. The link, little gold link somewhere. It's back here somewhere. But 6 bolts. Remove 2 links. Bring it together. Damn, I just burned myself. Bring these 2 together, and then that's it.